Hi, yeah, I'm over this summer crap. Let's move on to fall. Oh, okay. That is really good. This is something a little bit different. Now, I know that I'm about to do a video about a fall makeup look. And you're like, Cate, this doesn't feel well themed with what you're drinking. Well, you're correct. It's not. I considered getting like a really hearty stout, like a fall pumpkin beer. And the thought of drinking that when it's literally 99 degrees outside right now was like, nah, it's a no for me, dog. Still gotta keep it, refreshing and light, right? So this is sake. I love a chilled sake, and I don't know, I'm dumb, I don't know things. So for a long time, I thought the only way I could drink sake was hot, which I do enjoy. I do enjoy that. But have you ever had a tasty glass of chilled sake? I'll link it down below in the description box. It's called Tenggumai 50. Junmai Daiginjo. Yeah, see, sorry. It's really damn good. I mean, this bottle I think was a $30 bottle of sake, but I haven't had it in a while, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go big or go home. I mean, $30 for a bottle of wine for me is pretty damn expensive. I am hearkening fall. I am summoning fall. As you know, I hate summer. I always hate summer. I've never been a summer person. My hatred for summer is just, it's palpable at all times. The terrible things that are happening anyway with the pandemic, it just feels even worse, but I swear this summer is hotter in New York City. The heat index, again, today is 99 degrees, like I mentioned, which is absolutely unacceptable. It's unacceptable. So the actual first day of fall is like September, I don't know, 21st or 22nd, right? So that's a ways away. That's like a little less than a month away. I don't care. We're doing it now. We're gonna do a fall look. We're gonna make it happen, at least just for this video. Also very exciting, I have some brand new makeup products that I'm trying out today. This is the Melt Cosmetics Sex Foil. I saw Glitter Fallout do a video about this and I was sold. So I'm gonna be trying this for the first time. I'm also breaking out a lipstick that I've never used. I've never used this shade. This is the Chanel, I don't know actually why is the print so small? Le Rouge Duo Ultra Tenue Gloss. And this color I have never ever used before and I thought it was perfect. It's called Sweet Berry, so we're gonna be using that. One of the new Chantecaille fall shades. I did dip into this in a live stream to use it as a liner, but I'm gonna be using it as my main eye shade today, and I'm so excited. And I also was sent this amazing box from Lawless. They have a new full coverage. Look at this box. Like, it's so cool. They have a new full coverage foundation called Conceal the Deal. And they sent me also this beautiful foundation brush and this setting spray. So I'm really excited to try all these new things out. You guys know I am not a full coverage kind of gal so much, but this is gonna be great because it's fall vibes. We're gonna go a little bit more intense, more dramatic with the makeup, step outside of the comfort zone, whatever. Ooh, wow, looking a little tired today. That's not it. First, I'm gonna go in with my Beauty Pie All-in-Wonder Illuminating Primer. This primer I have not put down. It's the #1 primer I've been using. It just gives such a beautiful nude glow. And it's also just gorgeous to wear on its own. It just gives you that like shiny, I just had a facial at the spa look. So I went and got my hair recolored yesterday. So I don't have any roots, they're all gone. It appears that this is growing out of my head, this color. It is not. I basically look like a German boy. So my colorist, I've talked about her before, but I feel like I always want to mention her when I can because she has given me the best color of my life. I've gone to her the last few years. She's here in New York City. So if you're ever in New York and you want to get your hair done, run, do not walk. I will of course put her info in the description box down below, but I have never had anyone nail it so hard with this sort of icy angelic of a blonde, platinum blonde. It's really, really hard to get it to that place, and she does it every time now, and I'm just like, I don't understand. She's basically a magician. Okay, so I'm breaking out this complexion product that was sent to me by Lawless. So again, this is called Conceal the Deal, and it says, I created Conceal the Deal Long Wear Full Coverage Foundation because I wanted a formula that provided full coverage while feeling super light and comfortable on the skin all day long. Okay, I mean, if I'm gonna wear a full coverage foundation, that's the right idea. Also, can we just talk about this beautiful foundation brush? This is so pretty. This is a perfectly dome-shaped, handcrafted foundation brush, and it is the ideal shape and density to help blend and blur foundation with a smooth, airbrushed finish. Okay, I'm excited. I'm really, really excited. So Lawless Beauty is a clean makeup brand. On the sides of the bottle, it says clean AF. Okay, so I'm going to use the shade Almond, and the really interesting thing, I'm kind of blown away by this. Do you see how runny this foundation is? That's a full coverage foundation, which this actually is, it feels even lighter than like my Charlotte Tilbury what is the Light Wonder foundation? It feels even lighter than that, but wow, I'm intrigued. I'm really, really intrigued. So this is long wearing, self-setting, and full coverage. Okay, self-setting, wow. So this is what it looks like on my hand, and I'm just going in. Oh shoot, I shouldn't be using my sponge. I should be using this brush. Okay, so sorry. Change of plans. Wow, this is like wild. I cannot believe how light this feels. You know how full coverage foundations claim they're going to be comfortable and light? Oh my God, this is gonna be so comfortable, you're not even gonna know you're wearing it. I'm like, oh, okay. Is that how it's gonna go? I don't think so. This is like actually living up to what it says. So now I did mix in just like a tiny bit of the Fenty body sauce to make it a little bit darker, but it's still probably gonna be a little bit light for me. I don't know, we'll see. We'll make it work. Okay, this is blending beautifully and really seamlessly, which again, is not something that I really experience with heavier foundations. I feel like they might have done the impossible here. Staying with the kind of more full coverage vibe, I'm gonna go in with my Pat McGrath Sublime Perfection Concealer. Never does me wrong. So yesterday, it was the same heat index. It was horrible, and I had, you know, my hair appointment, like I said, and it was in Midtown, which is actually a really quick commute because we live off of an express train. So it wasn't as bad as it could have been, but it didn't even matter because, you know, waiting for the subway and then getting into Penn Station and having to walk up like a million stairs with a mask on and it being 99 degrees, like, forget about it. I got to the salon. Poor Chris, she always deals with this. I'm always just wet. Like, I'm a head sweater. How many, should we do a montage of me just talking about being sweaty? I feel like that could be a very long video. Anyway, I just always feel bad for her, and at this point when I show up, she knows. I'm just like, can you just get me a towel? Please don't touch me. I've always heard that, like, being a sweaty person is good because it's like an internal air conditioning system, but sometimes I feel like that's just a load of bullshit that people told us. Are you telling me that people who don't sweat as much as me are hotter than I am because they're not sweating? Because people would be bursting into flames just all around me if that were the case. You cannot tell me that those people are hotter than I am, okay? That is, if that's true, I am so sorry for everyone who doesn't sweat. I don't believe that's true. I believe that sweaty people really get the shaft because not only are they hot, they're wet. They've got shit seeping out of their pores, and then people stare at you like you're crazy. You know what I mean? Like if you walk into a store and you're as wet as I am, like you look like you tromped through the Amazon, you should see some of the looks I get. And you know what? After 38 years, I'm just used to it. But like that whole theory that, I don't, someone will weigh in. Someone's a doctor, someone will weigh in and be like, no, it's true, you're better off if you sweat. And I guess I'll believe it, but I'm skeptical. I'm on the fence. I think it's just something that maybe people said to make sweaty people feel better, is what I'm saying. I cannot get over this Lawless foundation. What? It's incredible. Like, how is this full coverage? This is, I don't care what kind of coverage this is. This is just gorgeous. So now I'm going to go in with my Kosas Air Brow Gel in the shade Medium Brown. I'm just letting the foundation set because it says it's self-setting. I'm pretty sure that I'm gonna, you know, have to go in with a little bit of powder, but I just kind of want to see how it goes, you know. What kind of bronzer should I use? I'm just gonna break out my Charlotte Tilbury. It's my favorite. Still my favorite bronzer, the Airbrush Matte Bronzer in the shade Medium. I am going to set my face with a little bit of powder. It's kind of like a Charlotte Tilbury kind of day. Just, oh, wow. We are really getting down to the bottom of that. The Airbrush powder. Look at how luminescent and natural this foundation. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm gonna just shut up about the foundation, but wow. We have to make sure that I don't get bronzer on my white hair because that's just not cute. Try to pull it back as much as I possibly can. Okay, so tomorrow, I think it's supposed to be just as hot, which, great. But Randy and I are going to go see, drumroll please, James Taylor and Jackson Browne in concert. So here's the deal. The first concert I ever saw, my parents took me to James Taylor concert when, I don't even know how old I was. I was definitely like preteen, like maybe I was, I don't know, like 11 or something like that. James Taylor is one of my favorite artists, and I am so excited to be able to see him in concert before he doesn't do that again. I mean, the man just keeps going and going, so he's probably going to keep doing this for years, but you know, the last thing I want is to wait until he's not performing live anymore. And I can't believe Jackson Browne is going to be with him. Like, this is going to be so epic. I remember one time I was working retail. I think I've told the story before, but I don't care. I'm going to tell it again. And I was in the back room, like, I don't know, restocking stuff. And this girl who, I think she was like 10 years younger than me. So at the time she was like 21. And I was listening to James Taylor, and she was like, "What is this?" And I was like, "Excuse me, it's James Taylor?" And she's like, "Oh, old people music." And I was like, "How dare you?" She's like Jimmy Buffett. They're basically the same. And I was like, they are not the same, like, at all, okay? At all. Not even the same vibe. Not even the same sound. You're just wrong, and you're making a fool of yourself. Not that there's anything wrong with Jimmy Buffett. Don't come for me about Jimmy Buffett, but they're not the same. Anyway, I've never forgotten that, and it still makes me angry. James Taylor is one of the best artists out there. I can't think of many people who still sound as pristine as he does at his age. I mean, that's bananas. And that man has been through a lot of shit, okay? He was a heroin addict, so like, I don't get it. He's like a freak of nature. When I want to feel like calm and comforted, I turn on some James Taylor. Oh God, I think I know almost every one of his songs. Shower the people you love with love. You can comment about James Taylor down below, but I'm gonna tell you right now, if you don't like James Taylor, I don't want to hear it, okay? I don't want to hear one bit of it. I'm just gonna put on a little bit of this Urban Decay eyeshadow primer Poche. And then we are going to do the Chantecaille shade. Look at her. Isn't she so beautiful? This is the shade Wild Bronze. This is the shade. I mean, I have put my finger in the middle of it, but I don't know if you can see the imprint that was on it. It was like, it looked like the most luxe, like, silk sheets I've ever seen. So we were on a whole, like, kind of old school Steven Spielberg kick because we watched Jurassic Park recently, which was so fun. Then we decided to watch some Indiana Jones. So the Indiana Jones movie that I grew up with, we also had it on VHS. It was the one that I saw the most times. It was Raiders of the Lost Ark. I love Raiders of the Lost Ark. Again, you know, probably partially because I grew up watching it and it has that nostalgia factor. I also had seen pieces of Temple of Doom, and I'll never forget it because, oh my gosh, this is digging way back into a very nightmarish memory. But when I lived in Fargo, North Dakota, so I was born in Fargo, and I would go over to, you know, my grandparents' apartment place when my parents were working, and they would take care of me, and they had some neighbor friends down the hall. and I think they had a grandchild. I can't quite remember. But anyway, I went over there one time and I think people just like weren't paying attention to what was, you know, on the TV or whatever. And Temple of Doom was on the TV. I didn't know that. I was like maybe 4 years old, maybe 5 at most. And it literally was the part where the guy reaches into the man's chest and pulls his heart out of his chest. I have never gotten over it. And we watched it the other night and it was like, oh my God, both of us. We were like, how was this PG? How? This is horrific. It was so traumatic. I'll never forget it. And I know that I had so many nightmares after accidentally I mean, my parents would never have let me watch that at that age. It was by accident. Yeah, so like maybe don't, you know, let your really young children watch Temple of Doom if it's on, because that shit really fucked me up. I kind of hated the movie because we watched the whole thing the other night and I really, really disliked it. I hated what they did with Kate Capshaw's character. Like, you know, she's supposed to be this, you know, the love interest or whatever. And she's just written so poorly. Randy actually told me that both Steven Spielberg and George Lucas were going through divorces. And apparently that played a big hand into how that character was portrayed, which is like super messed up. Like, okay, you just took all your hatred for your ex-wives and just made this kind of unbearable woman as the love interest. Okay, cool. Thank you so much for really caring about the writing of female characters. She really is just awful. Like, I just find her to be hard to watch, honestly. She's just spoiled. I mean, she's a total Karen. I think I said that in the middle of the movie. I'm like, she is literally, this character of Willie is a Karen. And then like we're supposed to be into their romance toward the end, and I'm like, okay, like I'm really not into any of this. That's the hot take on Temple of Doom that you never asked for in 2021. Now that I've blended out that Chantecaille shade, I'm gonna take this ColourPop cheek shade. This is actually one of their Super Shock highlighters in the shade Out of Quartz. It's a really unique sort of like bronzy rose gold highlighter, and I'm just gonna dab that onto my brow bone. And I'm just taking a little bit and like also putting it in the center of my lid. Wow, that is, again, not mad about it. I'm giving you a very 80s situation always. Yeah, because that Chantecaille bronze, it's very cool. So if you use the wrong shade on your brow bone, or if you take it all the way up to your brow bone, you know, it kind of looks a little, I don't know, a little like grayish, which I don't love. So the addition of that bronze highlighter kind of warmed things up and melded everything together in a way that I like a little bit better. Ooh, that's really pretty. I'm taking so long filming that I have to pour myself another glass. What a shame. Oh, that's too bad. It's really too bad. Oh, I also want to point out, I forgot to mention that this Chantecaille shade, this beautiful Chantecaille shade was sent to me by a subscriber, Lauren. So thank you so much to Lauren for sending me both of those shades. They are really, really special. And I will say this did not have any fallout. Did not deal with any fallout, and I applied it with my finger and also went back in with a brush and applied it. So I think that's pretty great. Okay, so I'm gonna go in with my Kosas The Big Clean mascara. And I can't remember if I had mentioned this before, but a lot of people have said that this smudges on them, and that's sort of the overall consensus that I've heard. And I did notice that one time when I wore it on my lower lashes, I did have a little bit, just a little bit of raccoon eye. So when I wear this, I basically only wear it on my upper lashes, and it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. Also, yesterday was my parents' 40th wedding anniversary. 40 years. 40. What? They went out and had a really nice fancy steak dinner at this place in Vegas that they love, and had red wine, and they sent me pictures, and they both look fabulous. Like, my parents are killing it. They look fantastic. They're both 70 years old and they're like a fine red wine. They're aging so well. I can only hope that for myself, you know? So I haven't pulled this out in a while. This is my Merit cheek color in the shade Mood, which is like the darkest shade they have. And I know it looks very intense, but it is the perfect aspen cheek. Oh my God, just damn. Wow, I'm pulling out these cream blushes lately that I haven't touched in a while, and I'm re-impressed. Actually, I feel like this really works with the eye beautifully as well. I wanted to choose a cheek color that kind of, made everything pop. Okay, so moving on to lips, I'm so excited for this. So this is, I think, one of Michelle Wong's favorite lip products, and oh my God, I haven't worn this in a while. It's going on like butter. So how this works is you put the lip shade on first, and then you go in with the gloss afterward, and it like locks everything in, and it stays for a very long time. Wow, that is just a gorgeous berry shade. The shade is a little bit sticky when you put it on, but don't worry, because once you put the gloss on, it takes care of that. And then the gloss. Damn, that's gorgeous. Ooh, and so buttery now. See, the stickiness is totes gone. I feel like this look is kind of, I think with my hair, giving maybe like 1920s vibes, 1920s, 1930s vibes. So now I'm very excited because I'm gonna go in with this new highlighter that I mentioned at the beginning. This is the Melt Cosmetics Sex Foil, and I have the shade Stargazer. So this is what, ooh, wow, a lot came out. This is what Stargazer looks like. Wow, I really, really went in on that swatch. But look at how freaking stunning that is. So this is basically like the liquid version of their digital dust. And if you guys have not tried anything from Melt Cosmetics, specifically their digital dust, you need to. You need to, because they're some of my favorite highlighters. They are just so unique. They blend out gorgeously. And like that looked really intense in that swatch, but on my cheeks, it's perfect. I don't feel like it's too much at all. Ooh, and it's like a little bit peachy. Just gorgeous. Just absolutely gorgeous. I'm gonna go in with just like a little bit more blush. Like a little bit more though. Ooh, so good, so good. So sorry if the angle changed a little bit. I didn't have any space left on my phone. What a delight. So I had to deal with that. Anyway, I have to share something. I love the lipstick. I love the blush. I love the combination of the eye products. But you know what? It's going to have to be this Lawless foundation. I am blown the hell away. It feels like a tinted moisturizer. It feels even lighter than that. And the coverage is so skin-like. It does have like a little bit of radiance to it. Run, do not walk on this, because wow. Lawless Conceal the Deal Longwear Full Coverage Foundation. Good job. This was really fun. It was another like, get ready with me chatty situation, which I'm just really vibing on right now. It's just kind of feeling more right to me, more natural. I hope you're enjoying it as well. You guys are the best. Stay safe out there, and cheers till next time. Bye.